Hi, my name's Denise. I'm an artist. I live in Sydney, Australia, and this video is a flip through of two of my sketchbooks. They took over a year to fill, and so just last week I came to the end of both of them in close proximity, and I thought, well, that would be fun to do a flip through for you. So thanks for watching. If you like the video, please click the like. It helps to grow this little channel. All right, see ya. Oh, one other tip I really wanted to highlight was one of the most helpful permission-giving things that I've given myself is the kind of mantra, the idea that to draw like no one is judging. You know, you hear that dance like no one's watching. Draw like no one's judging is a really helpful thing to remember when drawing anything, really. So, you know, paint like no one's judging as well can help. So see if that resonates with you as well. It's not often that I come to an end of a sketchbook, and last week I came to the end of two. And I thought it might be nice to flip through. You might have seen pieces in other videos, but this I'll do a flip through of both of these entire sketchbooks. Now, they started 14th of January 2023 and the 5th of January 2023, so very close in time. I might have actually shouted them to myself for Christmas, and so let's start here with Sandy. I say that is a loose picture of Sandy Hester, who has been very inspiring to me on my journey. When I discovered Sandy's YouTube, I just devoured all of the past ones that I hadn't watched, and I watch her new ones each time they come out because I find her so joyful. So I set myself up with the new journal, and it's sort of like that New Year time, and I'd written, you know, a note to myself, this year I have got to choose to play a lot more in my sketchbooks. I want to remember the joy of drawing like no one is judging. So that was the intention setting and sort of laying out that front page in that way. So I'll just sort of flip through and maybe stop and share bits and pieces along the way. I mean, I've even got a quote by Sandy here. She says, "My first job is just to enjoy creating, and I want to do it right. I want to think about it right. I want to honor him, God, with it." So that was interesting to me that she really shared where she's coming from. And she was right out there with what she wants to put into her art. So it was lovely. That's a couple of sketches of some commissions that I was asked to do, and they were redoing a couple of paintings that I'd done many years before. So I thought I would put sketches of them into my sketchbook. Also, I do not normally miss pages, but I noticed when I was flipping through I did find some. This is a funny loose sketch of Philip. I'm really not used to sketching, you know, like life drawing. Really not comfortable in that element. I like drawing from imaginary or things like that, from magazines or something. These are created by an artist. They're not real birds on the table, but they delighted me so much because her birds are so lifelike. The magpie was sort of true to size, and we were at an artist meetup, and it was just so fun. It was one of my earlier times of cafe sketching, really. This is my old room at home, my big lounge room. We turned it into sort of a gallery space and put the dining room in the big lounge, and had all art and plants all around. We did it for open studios and then loved it so much we ended up leaving it like that for the last couple of years we lived in that house. This, I went to an exhibition and it was so inspiring and wonderful. This was a big wall hanging with patches of fabric that had all been stitched together. There were stories stitched into it. And this artist had created everything. She'd covered chairs, she covered cushions, she'd made mats for the floor, she'd made light shades, she'd made these wall hangings. It was unbelievable the amount of creativity that this woman had filled this room with. It was just gorgeous. That was at going to see a Seidler house, like an architectural house with an art group, and everyone was around sketching. So that was one of the first times I went to join with a sketch group in Sydney. So I was using pencil because I was feeling a bit shy or a bit, nervous. So I noticed I'm using pencil for a bit. They're just shapes that a shadow was casting on my page. These are some birds drawn. I did Sandy's Painting Birds workshop, online class. Some health stuff. Oh, this was meeting with that Sydney Sketch Club again. So I had really a nice time with this one. I spent quite a lot of time and just got lost in and that's the little book with me. That's drawn with paint pens. This is taken from a photo of a cafe in Japan when we went to visit last November, and it was the most wonderful cafe. Everything was, there were handmade cups, handmade everything by a local ceramicist that the cafe was connected to. So it was really lovely. That was just from a Vogue Living magazine, an advert, and it really inspires me and reminds me of an artist that I really love. I'll put her name on the screen. I never tire of my tea settings. I love drawing them. A lot of comfort from that. That is an image of my nervous system. Feeling really frazzled after surgery, the next day or two after, the drugs that your body has to kind of process and let go of, and the strong drugs that they give you for pain relief and stuff. That's how it made me feel. Oh, this is a nice thing to do. A friend of mine did a reading for me, like a oracle card type reading. And I just wanted to take notes and keep the notes about it. And then I just found all these images that delighted me in it, and all these beautiful birds. And so it's got a nice energy then to hold the memory of that. It's quite lovely. Then you can sort of revisit it in your journal, which is nice. These, I don't even remember doing these, but I asked Philip if he did them and he said no. So I'm trying to do contour drawings of Aura. Oh, she looks a bit funny. Yeah. Well, this was a 20 for 20 art challenge, and I just made it so that I could do whatever I wanted. And as long as I did 20 things in a row, maybe missed a day or two, but 20 things happened. I had to do it in a way that it was like a painting challenge, but I ended up turning mine mostly into a drawing challenge, or a bit of each. I talk more about all of these drawings in the video I made about it. I'll put a link below. These are some images of my paintings, and I do the sketches after the paintings because the paintings often evolve, and then all but one of these 6 have sold now. This one's the only one left at the moment. And so I love to have a sketch of them to be able to look back upon, and also have a bit of a conversation with myself about what I learned from these paintings. And so this is really lovely, having a record of this to be able to revisit and to inspire new ones, because these are sort of like a timeless setting that I feel like I could redo, and you could do 100 of them and they could all have a different mood. So it's like I want to invite myself back into these spaces to be able to revisit and maybe repaint them newly. This is some drawings of my daughter Alex's ceramics. So they make me really happy. I've started to make some paintings of these a little bit as well, so I might put images of those in here. This was playing with a paint palette, trying to work out what colours would happen with Prussian blue, gold and Indian yellow hue. Made some interesting deep greens and olivey green. That was the day I was feeling really angry. It felt really good to have a place to put it down there. I haven't done a lot of these, but they're quite enjoyable. Using just a texter, what is that one? An Ecoline brush pen, just to do the shapes and then bring a face to them. It's quite fun. This was in relation to the online Zoom class that Kat Bennett taught in a class on the platform with Carla Sonham. And so these could have been done on little cards like this, but I decided to just put them in the journal so I could refer back. And this is just very much revisiting a drawings that I used to love doing when I was young. Just all the time. I think it's very common for young children to draw the same thing, you know, the triangle sun, the house, you know, the tree with the apples. I don't know why that is, but it's a thing, and I used to love it. And my little Dee Dee is a little character that I draw, and what I got from this is I just really had a sunshiny personality right from when I was really young. Great joy in being out under the sun. This is trying out some new acrylic gouaches that I bought, Liquitex gouaches, and some matte paints. I got them all together in a bundle, so I thought I would just do some swatches. And this is a space that just makes me feel very inspired. It's like, you wish I could live in a place like that, or I wish I could have a studio in a place like that. So it's really nice to capture such an interesting image out of a magazine and bring it into the journal so you can revisit it over again. And this idea of content creator, I also like the double meaning of being content, being satisfied, being happy with who you are, what you are. So this word content or content has that double meaning for me there. And this is the last page, and I had these printouts of some beautiful words that people wrote in a deck that I bought, and I wanted to be able to put some of these words into my journals to be able to revisit them some more. And so this is a quote by India Flint. Grounding at sunrise, bare feet on earth, eyes closed, takes me into a place of deep listening for the furthest sound I can hear, and into calm breath. I form my hands into a bowl of giving and receiving. Sometimes it fills with light or falling rain. Other times it is a mirror. I wait, eyes closed, and slowly bring the field of listening back to me. Gently let go of the vision and step into the day. I met India Flint. She's a beautiful textile artist. She does a lot of dyeing, natural dyes, using natural leaves and all kinds of other metals and things to get different colors, and like the indigo. So this picture is, like the idea of that holding your hands to form a bowl. I just really loved the idea and the feeling of that. So I gave the drawing those hands and holding a bowl. So that just felt like quite a nurturing, kind way to bring a close to this journal, this chapter, having that kind of introspective thought and image for me to come back to. So my other little one, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much joy this little book gives me. It's the size of it is it's kind of delightful. It's another Art Creations one, so I'll share this one with you as well. When I first got it, my little Dee Dee, little one, she says, we are sort of freaked out at the perfection of a new and lovely petite sketchbook. Like we're worried you're going to do it wrong or something. So it takes a bit to sort of dive into a new one sometimes. This is a way that I sort of do self-portraits, I guess. This is this young, lovely, bubbly little self is little Dee Dee, and then when I put on an apron or do different features, I think of this one as more of an older part of myself, and often with the apron it's like the artist's self, and I can speak to my thoughts that I'm feeling at the time in a not just words but in a little illustration, which I enjoy doing. Well, I've actually taken the time to go through and just cover up a few of the private thoughts in my journals because, it just is a bit of a vulnerability hangover, I think, if you share too much. I have to learn that sometimes. Oh, this was a really special book when I read it. I loved it so much. Actually, I will read this out for you. So, Bittersweet Teachings. 1. Follow the longing where it's telling you to go. 2. Transform your pain into beauty, your longing into belonging. 3. The art we love best, the music we love most, express our yearning for a perfect and beautiful world. 4. Upbeat tunes make us dance around our kitchens and invite friends to dinner, but sad music makes us want to touch the sky. 5. Whatever pain you can't get rid of, make it your creative offering. 6. Creativity has the power to look pain in the eye and turn it into something else. 7. Our oldest problem is the pain of separation. Our deepest dream is the desire for reunion. 8. You don't have to believe in the deities of the ancient books to be transformed by spiritual longing. 9. We transcend grief only when we realize how connected we are with all the other humans who struggle to transcend theirs. 10. We're just humans, flawed and beautiful and longing for love. And this is very powerful too. Whatever pain you can't get rid of, make it your creative offering, and find someone who makes it, or find someone who makes it for you. And if you do find yourself drawn to such a person, ask yourself why they call to you. What are they expressing on your behalf? And where do they have the power to take you? I can really relate that to Sandy Hester in her looseness, the way she's so free in the way she paints. She really expresses a freedom that I long for and admire. So that is interesting how that is in my life. I really relate to this. That's that same magpie that was in the other journal at that cafe. This was my probably one and only attempt at trying to do sketching in a waiting room, like at a doctor's surgery. It's sort of tricky, but I was trying. This is an outdoor area that was at my Sunshine Coast home before we moved to Sydney. And it was really a lovely place to be, with trees all behind and a big day bed and some favourite things gathered. That was that wall again in the lounge with the big table. Coming up to this time last year, on my birthday, I took myself to a cafe and had scones and cream and jam. I met a lovely artist, Llewellyn Skye, at the Sydney Contemporary Art Show last September, and she said that a great way to loosen up is to do the contour drawing. I was so inspired. I went away and found a table where we sat at lunch, and I did some loose contour type drawings. I had my hair cut really short. You'll see back in some other videos, and I really didn't like it. I hated how it would end up looking like a helmet because I'm not good at doing my hair. So I wrote myself a note to remember to not do that again. That's some more of my daughter's, Alex's, ceramics. Alex's bookshelf. I did share these in a previous post, a video, it was coming time to come back home, and so it was lovely to just be with Alex's things and do sketches of the clocks, the ceramic clocks that she'd made, and sketch her shelf and her bookshelf, because it takes me back to being in her lounge by looking at that. Oh, that's those little paintings again that were in this other sketchbook. For a while I was buying 2 pairs every week at the shops just so I could do drawings with them. That's a sketch Philip did of me holding Aura, and I think it looks funny. I look like an astronaut. Some Aura shapes. That's me on my own trying cafe sketching again. And that is the end of that sketchbook. There's some lovely notes that by Maria Bowler on consistency reimagined. Consistency is a byproduct of being able to be where you are, and expectations cloud that. Creative consistency is not something I earn or achieve. It's something I trust in. My creative practice is not going anywhere. I create things by simply existing. Your creative practice is not what you do. It's a way of being that's always available to you. Consistency is a byproduct of a healthy relationship with your own creative energy. Your process is not something to get through, but a living, ongoing collaboration. I find her very inspiring. She has a great Instagram, and she shares great little snippets there. So that's the end of my 2 journals.